Good morning and welcome to Daily Red Devil for all of your latest Manchester United transfer news and talk. I hope everyone is doing well on this Tuesday morning. It's absolutely freezing here in the UK. I hope everyone is doing good. Really big show to bring you guys this morning. But before we jump into that, please do smash a like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel if you're new, and let's get straight on into it. So on the show this morning, we'll obviously be talking a little bit about Manchester United's 2-0 victory over Wigan yesterday in the FA Cup. We'll also be reacting to some post-match comments from Roy Keane, ultimately saying that he doesn't think that Erik ten Hag will be in the job in the summer. So we'll be talking about that, breaking that down. Also talking a bit about Anthony Martial, who is apparently in talks with Fenerbahce over a loan move. We did talk a little bit about this on the show last night, but it does seem like this deal is really starting to hot up now. So we'll, of course, be talking about that. Quite a few other bits of kind of transfer-related news to talk about as well. As always, I invite you to have your say on all things Manchester United in the comment section below. So make sure you get in there. Let me know your thoughts. Let's jump straight on into it. So let's start with last night's game. 2-0 over Wigan. I'll be honest with you, I don't want to be negative, but I don't know. I wasn't really that impressed. Obviously a win's a win, okay? I'm happy we've won. I'm happy we're going through to the next round. I'm happy we've got an easier tie than we did in this round. We either play Newport or Eastleigh. Newport are in League 2 and Eastleigh are in the Conference League. So realistically, we should be able... we have to beat either of those teams. If we could beat Wigan, who are a league above Newport, then obviously we're going to beat Newport or Eastleigh, right? But generally, from what I've seen, I think there were some players who really shone. For example, Kobe Mainoo, I think he was unbelievable. I think he was genuinely our best player on the pitch. I think Rashford was absolutely awful, to be honest with you. I think he was terrible. He doesn't seem to be able to pass a ball. We could have scored 4 or 5 goals if Rashford learns to pass the ball. I think Garnacho on that right-hand side was really good. I think Garnacho had a great game. I think Bruno Fernandes didn't look like a Portuguese international who was the captain of Manchester United playing against the League One side, to be honest. I thought he was pretty average. But I'll be honest with you, right? I didn't come away from the game feeling massively inspired. We played our full-strength team. Well, obviously we have got some injuries, so you can't quite say full strength, but we played the best squad that we had available to us against a team who are bottom almost of League One, which is it's not even a championship team, it's a League One team. And I don't know, I just think that I thought we would get more goals than that. Obviously we won, obviously we're through to the next round, that's the most important thing. But generally, it was a little bit all over the place, wasn't it? But how did everybody feel about the game last night? Let me know in the comment section. Were you impressed with what you saw? And I think the thing that Roy Keane said, which I actually agree with, to be honest, and obviously keeping on the topic of the game, he said this. He says, the manager mentions the word project. It probably means he'll be gone in the next few months. The dreaded word project. No, I didn't see it tonight with United, and I've not seen it for the last few months. So what Roy Keane is saying here is that he doesn't really see anything in Manchester United at the moment. And I agree with that, to be honest. I didn't watch us last night and think, I can see what Erik ten Hag's trying to do here. Because if I'm Erik ten Hag, I'm telling Marcus Rashford to pass the ball, but Rashford must be being told to shoot. He must be, because he wouldn't be allowed to just keep doing it over and over again. Roy Keane then goes on to say, but again, they're in the next round and it's an easy draw the next time round. He says, you need a better level of performance, and the chances they made tonight, you always expect more. I would agree with that, I've backed Rasmus Højlund through thick and thin, but he should have had 2, if not 3 goals last night. You're playing against a League One side. That header, he needs to be scoring that. For a £70 million striker, you need to be scoring in opportunities like that. He had a couple of others which maybe, obviously there was one where it kind of deflected off his shin when it was an open goal. And then there was that other one where, I'll kind of give him the benefit of the doubt. But that game last night should have been 5 or 6-0, and we still can't convert chances. And it's not like we're playing against a Liverpool or a Man City or an Arsenal when you're saying, you're playing against a world-class defence and you can't convert chances. Maybe you let that go. But to be playing against a team who are almost bottom of League One and still not being able to convert chances is obviously a bit of a concern for me, I think. But we've got to try and stay positive. Obviously, we've got Tottenham on the weekend at home. You have to win that game. If you have any aspirations of any European football whatsoever, whether that's Europa League, Conference League, we need to win that game, because ultimately if we were to beat Tottenham on the weekend. Tottenham are currently sat in 5th on 39 points. So we need to beat Tottenham. We need to climb up that table because at the moment we're 8 points behind Tottenham. So we need to close that gap and hope that other teams above them lose. That's all we can really do. Hope that Aston Villa or Arsenal or Man City, which is probably not going to happen, but we really need to close that gap. And I think that this is our opportunity to build up a bit of momentum now. Obviously, you have this game last night, which wasn't really a convincing performance, but at the same time, we didn't really look like losing it at any point. Tottenham on the weekend, must-win game, and then you go and play either Newport or Eastleigh in the FA Cup. So within the next few weeks, we could be in the 5th round of the FA Cup. And you know what? I think Erik ten Hag has to win the FA Cup this season. We got to the final last year. Man City were obviously the better side, but when you look at the teams that are left in the FA Cup now, right? Obviously, Arsenal are already out of it, which is one of the top teams out. Everton play Crystal Palace, so that will be one Premier League team out. Chelsea play Aston Villa, that's another Premier League team out. Fulham play Newcastle, another Premier League team out. And Tottenham play Man City, so another Premier League team out. So by the time we get to the 5th round, from the top 10, there'll probably only be about 2 or 3 teams in the current top 10 in the Premier League still left in the competition. So we have to go and win that competition. We really, really do. And I think it's it's our only opportunity of silverware this season. So for me, that's the expectation now for the season. Premier League, I think, is a write-off. But I genuinely think there's no excuses for Man United to not kick on here and try and win the FA Cup. You've got to remember, right? Teams like Man City, they'll be in the Champions League. They'll be going probably to the longer stages, and Liverpool in Europe, right? They're going to have so many more games than us. We need to put all of our focus on this FA Cup because we need to win a trophy this season. It's as simple as that. Otherwise, I think Erik ten Hag could be in big trouble in the summer. But let me know what you guys think about Roy Keane's comments on Erik ten Hag. Do you think Erik ten Hag will still be here in the summer? Or do you think that this is kind of the beginning of the end for him? Daz says the performance last night wouldn't beat any Premier League team. I agree, mate. I actually agree with you. I wasn't really convinced, to be honest. I think Kobe Mainoo was unbelievable last night. He is a quality player. But other than that, not really that impressed. Fred says what came out of last night was there's certain players that need to be dropped as their best players were the youngsters. Yeah, exactly, mate. Exactly. Rashford was terrible. Absolutely awful. And I'll say it now, right? At this point, I probably would sell Marcus Rashford. If someone came in, if the PSG came in with another big offer for Marcus Rashford in the summer, I would 100% let him go at this point, to be honest, because I just don't think, it's annoying, isn't it, really? But there's not really too much we can do about it. Right, let's see what else people are saying. Ed says, considering how bad some individual performances were last night, has anyone reconsidered how much blame they give Erik ten Hag for our season so far? I think the blame is equal, I think Erik ten Hag has obviously made some mistakes. I think most of these players aren't good enough. I think most of these players don't try hard enough. Like, there's all sorts of different things that can happen, Philip says, we looked as if we could be ambushed at any time by a Premier League team, mainly brilliant. I think he's meant to say Manu brilliant, defence panicky, Højlund too tentative in the 6-yard box. Richie says, of course, Ten Hag won't be at Manchester United much longer. Few trust him anymore, including the players. Yeah, I think when you look at our fixtures over the next kind of month or so, it's going to be very, very difficult for Erik ten Hag to... I still think he'll be here in the summer, definitely. I think he'll definitely, keep his position till the summer. But I just think after that, it's going to be a bit of an issue, really. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about that in the comment section below. Right, let's move on to the next story, though. Let's talk a bit about Anthony Martial. I know everybody's sick to death of Martial, but there has been a bit more developments on this story. So last night we obviously spoke about Fenerbahce, who are apparently trying to sign Anthony Martial. And what we're hearing at the moment is it's looking like it will be a loan deal. I mean, it doesn't really fill me with much confidence, a loan deal, does it? He's only got 6 months left of his contract. Like, we need to just move him on. We really, really need to move him on at this point. And if a loan is all we can get, then I think you have to take it, because he doesn't contribute to the squad. His contract's up in 6 months. He's either ill, injured, or putting in a half-arsed effort on the pitch. Like, if Fenerbahce are willing to cover half of his wages, I think at this point you just have to accept it and you have to move on, really, don't you? But let me know what you guys think about that one in the comment section. Do you think Martial should stay at United? Yeah, for me, it's a definite no. Al says the Athletic have said that Jim Ratcliffe has no deal to eventually buy 100% of the club. He only has a right to make an offer if a shareholder sells. We are stuck with the Glazers. Yeah, mate, the thing is, right, when you actually look at the finite details of the deal with Jim Ratcliffe, like, we are stuck with the Glazers for the time, well, potentially forever. Ginge says, if I'm Kobe Mainoo, I'm looking for other options. He is way too good for Man United, and our trajectory is a bottom half Premier League club fighting the drop. He needs to move to a big club, if we're honest. I don't agree with that, mate, to be honest. I think we will improve over the next kind of 5 to 10 years. I know people want success immediately. I know most of the people in this fan base expected us to win the league this season, but you've got to be realistic, right? Man City have been building a project for a long, long time. Liverpool have had a project with Jurgen Klopp for a long time. I mean, look at Arteta, right? He's been at Arsenal for 4 or 5 years? They've won 1 trophy in 4 or 5 years. They're out of the FA Cup. They're out of the League Cup. They're pretty much out of the title race, I would say, at this point, to be honest, based on their current form. You know, they're 5 points behind Liverpool. I don't think they've scored a goal in the last 3 games, have they? Yeah, I mean, they lost to Arsenal. Sorry, they lost to Liverpool, they lost to Fulham, and they lost to West Ham, drew with Liverpool. Like, they haven't won a game in over a month now. And that's somebody who's been at the club for 5 years, spent way more than Erik ten Hag. I think my point being here is that, you know, to say that Kobe Mainoo should leave because we're a bottom half table club, I think is a little bit unrealistic, you know? Like, it's a rebuild. I think for me, top 4 should be our kind of goalpost for the next kind of 2 to 3 years, to just be consistently in the top 4. People who think that next season or within a month of Jim Ratcliffe coming here, we should be challenging for the title, like, it's just unrealistic, okay? We've been in this rot for over 10 years now with the Glazers. Top 4 should be the target. Top 4, I know I'm not going to be, you know, screaming and celebrating and running through the streets if we get top 4 as if it's a trophy, but we just need to stabilise, get top 4, clean out the players that aren't good enough, and start rebuilding the squad for the future. I mean, at some point, I know we can't focus on this, but at some point Pep Guardiola and Jurgen Klopp will leave those clubs, and then they'll be on a rebuild, and then that might be our opportunity to jump ahead of them and kind of lead the way from there, you know? Remember Liverpool, you know, they really, really struggled as well for the first couple of seasons under Jurgen Klopp. Philip says, why is everyone getting ill at Manchester United? Ahmad now. A lot of people are sick at the moment in the UK. Like, it's very, very cold here. I think COVID's come back around again, or there's some sort of virus going around. Like, yeah. Al says, Kobe Mainoo wouldn't get any game time anywhere else. He is in a good position. I agree, mate. I think the fans love him. Erik ten Hag seems to like him. So yeah, overall it's positive, I think, for Kobe Mainoo at Manchester United. Right, let's see what else. Ginge says, we aren't getting top 4, mate. Other clubs are now way better than us. Villa, Spurs, Brighton are all better run and fit for the future, and Newcastle. I mean, I don't agree with that, mate. Newcastle are below us. Newcastle didn't win a trophy last season. Newcastle aren't a better club than us. They aren't. It's as simple as that. They're not. They're lower in the table. They finished lower in the table last season to us. And they didn't win any trophies last year, and they're not going to win any trophies this year. So I think it's a little bit, you know, to say they're a better team than us is, you know, I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that, because at the end of the day, it's a results business. Let's see what else we got. Richie says, Mainoo is overhyped. Let's judge him in a couple more seasons. Rashford was overhyped the same when he first burst into the team, and look at him now. I think it's different, mate. I think, like, maybe it's this, okay? I'll agree with this. We haven't had a world-class midfielder consistently in, I don't remember, probably since, you know, the Paul Scholes, Roy Keane kind of days, in my opinion. I mean, Paul Pogba on his day was world-class, but his day was very, very few and far between. He was either ill, injured, falling out with managers. But other than that, if you actually look at our midfield, Eriksen isn't world-class, McTominay isn't world-class, right? And they're both more attacking players, whereas Kobe Mainoo looks more like a complete midfielder to me. And I think that that's why he stands out so much for this fan base, because you watch Kobe Mainoo and he really, really does shine in that midfield. Now, maybe that's because the rest of our midfield is absolutely awful. I would probably agree with that. You know, our midfield is terrible. And it would be interesting to see him alongside Casemiro, because will that happen? I don't know, but I would be really, really interested to see Kobe Mainoo and Casemiro, probably with Bruno Fernandes in a midfield three. I think that would be a really solid midfield. So hopefully we see that. Everybody who's just joined, please do smash a like on the video. Let's try and hit 200 likes by the end of today's video. If everyone likes it now, we will hit that. So please do go and hit the like button. Jarvis says, why focus on results in the first place? Playing good football should be the target. I know what you mean, mate. And my target for this season was to play better football because, yes, last season we won a trophy. Yes, last season we got top 4. We got third even, which was great. But the football was terrible last season. It was counter-attacking, park the bus football. Let's be honest, it was. And I think this season he has tried to play better, more expansive, more dominating football. I genuinely believe that. And, you know, putting all of our players in their half and chucking Dalot and... chucking the wing backs and Wan-Bissaka and Dalot further up the pitch, so you've got kind of inverted wing backs and all the rest of it. Like, I can see what Erik ten Hag is trying to do, but it's just not really working at this point. So fair play for him to actually try, because I think this squad is so used to playing counter-attacking football. That is their strength, counter-attacking football. Fred says, do you think Højlund will come good? Yeah, 100%, mate. Yesterday was the first game I think I've ever seen Højlund actually get a chance and missed, genuinely. People will say the Liverpool one, but I mean, that was quite a difficult chance. Obviously, a Harry Kane would have scored that goal against Liverpool, wouldn't he? Definitely. But yesterday, he should have scored 2, if not 3 goals. And I think that he will only improve. Obviously, it is a concern, though. You know, you spend 60, 70 million pounds on a striker and he can't score those goals. Like, that is a concern. Of course it is. I'm not going to sit here and say, you know, it was a difficult chance, because that header, he saw the ball coming. But then, if you want to play devil's advocate here, he's probably so not used to actually getting opportunities that it probably was such a shock to him that maybe he fluffed it a little bit. I don't know. Maybe that's me just being stupid. Al says, we need the director of football to start work ASAP, overhauling the squad. I agree with you, mate. Obviously, Jean-Claude Blanc, Sir Dave Brailsford, David Gill, like, they were all at the game yesterday. So we are expecting, in the next kind of 2 to 3 weeks to get some clarity on who, this new super team is going to be. But the January window is a write-off, okay? Ineos haven't even been accepted as the 25% owners by the Premier League yet, so they can't actually technically do anything at this point. We'll have to wait and see what happens, but at this point, we've just got to be patient. We've got to be very, very patient. Right, let's see what else we've got planned for today's show. I'll read out a couple more of your comments really, really quickly. Somebody says, Kobe Mainoo is Clarence Seedorf-esque. Yeah, I honestly thought Kobe Mainoo was incredible last night. I did. Chris says... Chris says Højlund got opportunities despite McTominay occupying his space for much of the game. Yeah, I would agree with that. And Ed says, director of football needs to improve coaching too. Yeah, I mean, mate, we need a complete clear out. We've still got that guy, I can't remember his name, the set piece coach. I mean, he's been here for like 3 or 4 years and our set pieces are terrible. We never score from corners. We never score from free kicks, really. And we always concede from corners and free kicks. So, yeah, we definitely need to sort out the set piece coach. That's 100%. But I'm going to wrap the video up here, guys. Thank you so much to everyone who's joined me on the show this morning. Please don't forget to smash a like before you go. Please subscribe if this is your first time watching. I will be back later on today about 6 p.m. So make sure you come and find me then. Hope everyone has a good day. This has been Daily Red Devil, and I'll speak to you all later.